trees and the mighty mountains, His majesty is revealed. Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name. Sing of His mighty words. Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name. Sing of His mighty words. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise. Spread it among the nations. Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name. Sing of His mighty words. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise. Marvelous are all His deeds. He blesses all those who call on His name. He blesses with all that they need. Give to the Lord all the glory. Give to Him all He is due. Worship the Lord in splendor. Worship in spirit and truth. Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name. Sing of His mighty word. Spread it among the nations. The Lord is the one who reigns. The heavens rejoice, the whole earth is glad at the sounding of His holy name. Through creatures that fill the oceans, through all of the beasts of the field, through trees and the mighty mountains, His majesty is revealed. Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name. Sing of His mighty words. Sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name. Sing of His mighty words. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise. Spread it among the nations. the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty works. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise, marvelous are all his deeds. He blesses all those who call on his name, he blesses with all that they need. Give to the Lord all the glory, give to him all he is due. Worship the Lord in splendor, worship in spirit and truth. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty word. Spread it among the nations, the Lord is the one who reigns. The heavens rejoice, the whole earth is glad at the sounding of his holy name. Through creatures that fill the ocean, through all of the beasts of the field, through trees and the mighty mountains, his majesty is revealed. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty works. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty works. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise. Spread it among the nations. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty works. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise, marvelous are all his deeds. He blesses all those who call on his name, he blesses with all that they need. Give to the Lord all the glory, give to him all he is due. Worship the Lord in splendor, worship in spirit and truth. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty word. Spread it among the nations, the Lord is the one who reigns. through creatures that fill the ocean, through all of the beasts of the field, through trees and the mighty mountains, His majesty is revealed. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth, sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name, sing of His mighty works. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth, sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name, sing of His mighty works. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise. Spread it among the nations. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth, sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name, sing of His mighty works. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise, marvelous are all His deeds. He blesses all those who call on His name. He blesses with all that they need. Give to the Lord all the glory. Give to Him all He is due. Worship the Lord in splendor, worship in spirit and truth. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth, sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name, sing of His mighty works. Spread it among the nations. The Lord is the one who reigns. The heavens rejoice, the whole earth is glad at the sounding of His holy name. Through creatures that fill the oceans, through all of the beasts of the field, through trees and the mighty mountains, His majesty is revealed. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth, sing to the Lord, bring praise to His name, sing of His mighty works. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth, the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty works. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise, marvelous are all his deeds. He blesses all those who call on his name, he blesses with all that they need. Give to the Lord all the glory, give to him all he is due. Worship the Lord in splendor, worship in spirit and truth. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty word. Spread it among the nations, the Lord is the one who reigns. The heavens rejoice, the whole earth is glad at the sounding of his holy name. Through creatures that fill the oceans, through all of the beasts of the field, through trees and the mighty mountains, his majesty is revealed. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty works. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty works. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise. Spread it among the nations. Sing to the Lord a new song, sing to the Lord all the earth. Sing to the Lord, bring praise to his name, sing of his mighty word. Great is the Lord and worthy of praise, marvelous are all his deeds. He blesses all those who call on his name, he blesses with all that they need. Give to the Lord all the glory, give to him all he is.
10 copies. If you need more, this thing makes multiple copies fast.
Do me a favor, brother. Bring up I did that just for her.
Ooh. Have y'all noticed gravity's getting stronger lately? I mean, I just lean to one side and it wants to pull me to the ground. You know?
If I make a right turn, I get pulled up.
Mama. I gotta do this first. I got something I got to do. I can't do anything till I do that. What is going on here? What is wrong here?
Thank you.
In case you need to use your warranty.
We didn't mail it in there.
No, but that tells you what you do have anyway.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see, Daniel chapter 17. Wrong chapter. I never get it right, do I? I do? No. Y'all realize that this is the end of the book. I was listening to someone trying to convince me that the rapture is pre-tribulation. And in the process of listening to him as he went through the book of Revelation, he made a comment that I can't say that I disagree with. Nothing to do with the rapture. He said if anyone tries to explain anything in the book of Revelation to you, if they don't know anything about the book of Daniel, don't listen to them. You can't understand anything in Revelation if you're not familiar with the book of Daniel. It has more end-time prophecies than any other book, and it's the absolute most accurate of all.
We just went through it, and I still don't quite understand it all.
What you understand? Huh?
I said, we just went through the whole thing around the last chapter.
Well, you still don't understand
I
it.
still got a lot of questions.
It's the third time I teach Daniel in this Bible study. I got rid of the long one. Oh my goodness gracious. But anyway.
Oh, so it's your fault.
Chapter 12 is kind of short. It's just kind of like a recap chapter, but
7 was long.
it, 11 is a tough one. And I understand something. I'm giving you a lot of times, I'm giving you what I think from my study. There are people who would disagree with that. There are people who take a lot of end-time information out of chapter 11. There are also people who take almost 90% of everything to do only to the Jews. Nothing to do with us. The whole end-time scenario to these people has absolutely nothing to do with us. The Antichrist, mark of the beast, the tribulation period, all that doesn't have anything to do with us. Yes, sir?
Well, Ray, if that was true, why did he wrap this into his commandment and tell us we will receive the same rewards as his chosen people will receive if they do not follow his laws and commands?
I couldn't hear everything you said. Yeah, microphone. La Miguel de Fon.
If that is, hello.
Hi. We are experiencing network technical difficulties. There's no trouble with your ears.
Hello.
Told you.
Okay, my comment was, if that is true, if everything only pertains to the Jewish people, why did he graft us into his family through his son so that all can come to the saving knowledge? So why should we pay any attention to anything in the Bible and just live like we want if there's no penalty for us? See what I'm saying? If it only applies to them, how can it apply to us if we're not
There's
Jewish?
still a penalty for not accepting Jesus. Even if the Jews accept Jesus, they won't go through it. This mindset. Those who are saved will be raptured before the beginning of the tribulation period. Therefore, they will not experience the tribulation period. But those that have not accepted Christ, and the Jews especially who have not accepted their Messiah, will go through the tribulation period and will be saved at the end of it.
They'll come out the other side.
Yeah, they'll come out. Most of them will, not all of them.
No, because not all of them's going to believe.
Not
Just
all
like
of them going to accept it. Yeah.
everybody that's been given the
Will there
opportunity
be Christians
to believe
that will go
believe.
through the tribulation? Absolutely. There'll be Christians that go. There'll be people that get saved afterwards. There wouldn't be no righteous people for the enemy to go after to start with.
See.
We could go on for a couple of hours on this subject, but we'll never get to. But the Antichrist. Remember, the devil tries to get the woman, and the woman, God takes her away, and she's got a place to stay, and then he goes out and he wages war against the believers, the righteous, and the even Antichrist overwhelms them and overpowers them. That's why they're going to be whacking their heads off. That's why all those martyred people are under the altar in chapter 5 of Revelation. But in the minds of those who are pre-trib rapture people, those are the people who didn't accept Christ before the tribulation. We will be, sitting up in heaven watching. I hope they're right. I would love to, but I think if Jesus could come right this minute, would be okay with me.
And that's the reason I came at it from the direction I did, so we could get the explanation of why we must obey Christ.
Of course.
And follow.
Absolutely. Whether we go through the tribulation period or not, we must. I'm not even going to get into his reasoning. His reasoning for changing his mind baffles me, but still. Interesting. I do weird things like that. I like to read books written by people that I totally disagree with. So you get to know how they think and why. Why they think the way they do. Sometimes it's interesting to find out why. Anyway, back to, what's his name? George? Oh, Daniel, yeah, something like that. Chapter 12, verse 1. Ta-da! At that time, when? At the time that we write, starting chapter 12, that's when. Michael shall stand up, the great prince who stands watch over the sons of your people. Whose people are those? Who are those people? The Jews. They're talking to Daniel about his people. All right? And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And at that time your people shall be delivered. Uh-oh. Everyone who is found written in the book. It's always a doggone hook everywhere. Huh? A catch, if you will. Catch 22. I love that. You realize, you know why that movie was, y'all watch Catch 22 when he played? Y'all ever see that at the movies? Catch 22? Catch 22 is a World War II movie. In fact, that's what they made the, it don't matter. Catch 22 is a World War II movie, and it was a squadron of bombers. And the only thing any of these people wanted to do is try to find a way out of the army, of the military, and get out the war. One guy kept crashing his plane further and further away from the base to see how far he could go and still make it back to shore okay. But one of them tried to pretend he was crazy, had lost his mind, he had gone insane. And of course the psychiatrist on the base, or the doctor on the base, said, that's the last thing that will ever work. Anybody who wants to stay is insane. An insane person that wants to leave proves that you're sane. Catch 22. Anyway, Catch 22, you got to have your name written in the book. A time of trouble, the 3.5 years of tribulation, Daniel's 7th week. That's basically what we're talking about. Now I got some scripture references here. I'm not sure. Might look them up here. Zechariah. Yeah, Zechariah. Zechariah. Oh, that's not the way it is. Huh? I know it's in the Old Testament somewhere. Micah. Come on. My fingers don't want to turn the pages. All right. Somebody got Zechariah out? Guess what? It just says chapter 14. I should have just copied it because I don't remember what it pertains to. It's the whole chapter, Judy. I can't turn around and read the whole thing backwards. This is ridiculous. I don't have this trouble finding a book. Yeah, it's after Zephaniah. It's after Zephaniah. Zechariah. Now, let me see what this is all about. 14. I got it now. Behold, the day of the Lord is coming. It's interesting, Zechariah. Just for your own edification, 520 to 475 BC, Zechariah. The contemporary of Haggai. He was there to arouse the Jews to rebuild and complete the construction of the temple. This was after the Babylonian captivity and after they had gone back to Jerusalem to fix things. Okay? This is a prophecy from Zechariah. The day of the Lord is coming, and your spoil will be divided in your midst, and I will gather all the nations in battle against Jerusalem. Boy, that sounds familiar, huh? The city shall be taken, the houses rifled, and the women ravished. Half of the city will go into captivity, and the remnant of the people shall not be cut off from the city. The Lord will go forth and fight against those nations as he fights in the day of battle, and in that day his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, which faces Jerusalem on the east, the Mount of Olives shall be split in two. You can go dig all this up out of Revelation too. From east to west, making a large valley. Half the mountains shall move toward north, half will move toward the south. Then you shall flee through my mountain valley, for the mountain valley shall reach to Azal. Yes, you shall flee as ye fled from the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. Thus the Lord will come, and all the saints with you. Just a little bit about what he's talking about here. You can find references and prophecies pertaining to the same information in a lot of books in the Old Testament. And many times, and I put that together one time, you'll find a prophecy pertaining to the end times right in the middle of a prophecy pertaining to something that's going on at that time. And if you don't look closely, you'll miss it. You won't decipher it. I think God does it that way because he wants us to dig. There are gold nuggets in that book, but you got to dig for them. You got to move a lot of dirt to get to the gold. But I'll drink to that. Of course, I'd drink to anything, as long as it's water. Yeah. Why I like water? Well, I just like water. It's an awesome beverage. The classical interpretation of this particular verse, it sees the time of trouble as a resumption of the events of Antiochus IV described in chapter 11, 36 to 45. Okay? But again, the school of thought suggests that an ultimate antitype may also be found in the book of Revelation, affirming the principle of multi-level prophetic fulfillment. Now, you understand those fancy words? It's a classical view that this could be pertaining to Antiochus. You remember him, Epiphanes, the one that's doing all the nasty things in Jerusalem during chapter 11, during that period of time of Greek occupation. But at the same time, it so closely relates itself to the Antichrist at the end of the 3.5 years when he does the exact same thing that Antiochus did. If you pay a lot of attention to the Old Testament, you will see that God tells you what he's going to do, then he does it, and then again he does it again. Hopefully, hearing it, seeing it, and seeing it again make you realize what he says is exactly what's going to happen. Because people are very, very short memory, very, very short-term memory, vis-a-vis New York City. 25 years ago, Muslims flew airplanes and killed 3,000 people and destroyed the Twin Towers in New York City. And 25 years later, we elect a professed jihad, anti-American Muslim to be the mayor of that city? Do you really think that because God has said it and done it twice, that people are going to understand? It's like I was saying Sunday, the frustration must be unbearable for all that he's done and so little that we grasp and understand. Also, let's see, verse 30, what's 30:14? Oh, Jeremiah. Let me see what Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 14 says. Why didn't you write it in here? Well, that's too lazy. All you lovers have forgotten, all your lovers have forgotten you, that do not seek you, for I have wounded you with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of your iniquities because of your sin, because your sins have increased. I don't know how that applied to this, but I think that's one of the reasons why he's trying to explain how the tribulations will. I'm sorry? Oh, it's chapter 34 to 11. No wonder that didn't. Now these are the words that the Lord said concerning Israel and Judah. For thus says the Lord, we have heard a voice trembling of fear and not of peace. And now and see, look, ask now and see whether a man is ever in labor with a child. So why do I see every man with his hands on his loins like a woman in labor, and all faces turn pale? Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. And it is the time of Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble. You understand why these people think this pertains only to the Jews, huh? But he shall be saved out of it. But he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, says the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from the neck and will burst your bonds. Foreigners shall no more enslave them, but they shall serve the Lord their God and David their king, whom I will raise up for them. Shall I continue? We're just going over the same kind of things, pretty much. Anyway, it all pertains to those things that we know as the day of the Lord is not something to look forward to. The second coming of Christ is, because that's the rapture, but not the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is going to be a hard, rough day, very difficult day. And Jerusalem will be pretty much destroyed. But don't matter, because that's when Jesus begins the millennial reign. In fact, I think we might have some questions about that. Oh, yes, at the end of this chapter, we'll get into that. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
I really don't worry about it because I'm sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise.
Yeah. Well, I don't worry about it. I worry about it for the sake of others, not for me. I worry about other people. Shame. 12:2. And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. I don't think this is the rapture. Right? These two resurrections are further explained in Revelation 24, 5 through 15. I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with those. The first resurrection takes place before the millennium, and the second after the millennium, just prior to the great white throne of judgment. I'm not going to get too deep into that because that's what I'm going to finish with. The gentleman I was listening to put it like this: Jesus is coming back for that day to destroy evil, and we come with him, and the Jews that are remained are saved, so that we can all come together for the millennium, with Christ reigning on the earth. It's a cute idea. But we know that after the destruction, after Armageddon, and after the destruction of everything, the great white throne of judgment comes, then the second resurrection, then the millennium starts. Okay? You don't want to be in the second resurrection? Because them folks don't have their name in the book. They get cast into hell. You know that thing that don't really exist? Yeah. They get to go there. Okay. 3-9. Those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the firmament, and those who turn many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever. Well, I would love to be able to turn many to that. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Boy, has it ever increased. Do you realize that in your lifetime you have witnessed more in, what do you call it? Miraculous, if you will, improvements, inventions in your lifetime than in all the years prior? I mean, it's incredible. Automobiles, airplanes, rockets. Whether you believe they can't go up into space or not, they still fly up. I mean, the things we've... Look, I used to have an 8-track tape player in my car. Then I had to get a cassette. Then I had to get a CD player. Now I got to hook up some of them crazy things like Siri or whatever y'all call that and listen to music for 7,000 years without changing the song. Drive me insane, but I mean, I used to go to the video store and rent VHS tapes to watch movies. Well, I'm glad I didn't invest in a bunch of those. We have seen so much technological change. It's incredible. You can go buy a brand new $5,000 computer today, take it out the store, and it's already old hat. Somebody made something newer than that. Anyway, but you, Daniel, shut up the words, and knowledge will increase. Then I, Daniel, looked, and there stood 2 others, one on this river bank and the other on that river bank. And one said to the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, standing over the river, how long shall the fulfillment of these wonders be? Then I heard the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand to heaven, and swore by him who lives forever that it shall be for a time, times, and half a time. And when the power of the holy people has been completely shattered, all these things shall be finished. Whoa. Let's stop for a minute. We know what times and a half time is. That's 3.5 years. 3.5 years of Antichrist will be peace. He will be an extremely charismatic, intelligent individual. He's not going to be a buffoon like Biden. Certainly he'll be Cortez or Kamala. It's going to be someone, ain't going to be no Donald Trump either. Because he's hated by most. Was looking at something on the other night on Facebook. Nations that hate Trump. I didn't turn it on because after I saw about 15 or 20 nations, there was only one out of them that didn't hate Trump. Means he's doing a good job. Anyway, what was my train of thought? Oh yeah, the 3.5 years. But look, it says, and when the power of the holy people, who's the holy people? The Jews. When the power of the holy people has been completely shattered, they have no power. They're done. They're over. Then all these things shall be finished. So the Lord's going to come down and put an end to all this at Armageddon, but Armageddon, or whatever's going on, will have destroyed Jerusalem. Yeah. Although I did not understand Then I said, My Lord, what shall be the end of all of these things? And he said, Go your way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed till the time of the end. In other words, you're not going to know. Jesus said that. Quit trying to figure it out. Well, we're going to see the signs. We know it's close. Anticipate it to happen tonight. Live as though it's going to happen in 100 years. But live like, what I mean is you do everything like it's going to be 100 years, but live like it'll be tonight. Yeah. Because it could be. We don't know. No, we don't know. But I got grandchildren. So I'm not going to just say, I'm going to shut everything down, wait for the Lord. He's coming any day now. No, these grandchildren, I don't know how long it's going to be. God doesn't look at a timetable the way we do. He says something's going to happen soon. He kept telling Jerusalem, he kept telling Israel what's going to happen to them for 200 years. It did happen.
In reality, we've been waiting 2,000 years. It's been 2 days for him.
Yeah. 1,000 years is as a day. I like the way that guy put it in that movie. He put it like, God shows the end in the beginning. Right? That's in the book of Isaiah. God created the heavens and the earth 6 days. And he rested the seventh day. Well, 1 day is as 1,000 years to God. 1,000 years is a day. All right? 6 days. 1 day of 6,000 years. 1,000 years of rest. 6,000 years on the Jewish calendar. The millennial 1 day of rest. When the calendar of the Jewish calendar hits 1,000 or 6,000, it would be equal to the beginning. Which means we still got a few years before that end period comes, because the last time I checked it was something like 55,000, 50-something. We still had 50-something years. Well, 50-something years to God is not even a sneeze. Not, he don't sneeze, but I mean, it's not any time at all. Eternity is a long time, y'all. But I don't know. I could be 1,000% wrong with what I just said. I don't know. But it's an interesting theory. I like to think about it that way. They said, Go your way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and shall be sealed till the time of the end. We'll find out when it happens. Many dispensational writers at this time of time of the end, the time of the end refers to the fact that Daniel's vision of the 70 weeks was not understood until the 19th century A.D. Others feel that it seems highly unlikely. The most obvious meaning seems to be that the latter events of the book of Daniel will not have great relevance until later in history. And obviously that's true, because it didn't have any relevance for hundreds of years. I mean, how many times is Israel dispersed? How many? 2,000 years Israel was not a nation. Completely spread out all over the world. Chastised, thrown out, chased out. Hey, what's that movie I got on tape about the Jewish guy? What's the name of that movie? Oh, his daughter married this guy that was a seamstress. And good gracious, I can't. They made a musical out of it, huh? Fiddler on the Roof. Did you watch Fiddler on the Roof? They lived in Russia. The Russians decided, okay, all the Jews got to get out. And threw them out of the country. They all had to leave. Did you think that just happened in Russia? No. You think all the other countries didn't do that at one time or another? Absolutely. Why do you think they stayed on those ships so long before they finally landed in Palestine? Nobody wanted them. They're on them ships because the British put them there, because they didn't want them either. But they finally gave them Palestine. Anyway, be that as it may. They did go through a lot, and I'm sure they weren't looking for the end times during that time. They weren't a nation. That's why 1948 and what happened since then is extremely important. When you look at it, but you look at God's timetable, look, it ain't going to be long before it's 100 years that Israel's been a nation. You realize that? You're only talking about 22 years, and Israel will have been a nation for 100 years. I'll guarantee you when people start putting things together, Israel's a nation again, the end's going to be here in a couple of months, in a year at the most. And look at here. 80 years and still nothing. Don't try to outguess God. He knows what he's doing. Classical interpretation. The classical prophetic writers view this time as being from the period of Antiochus IV onward.
But sometimes I wonder if the devil's counterfeiting the timeline.
Well, he tries to counterfeit anything. He can counterfeit everything God does. That's why you got to be very, very careful. And that's what John said. He meant it when he said it then. It's just as relevant today. Test all spirits. All. Because he don't come off the line very far. Very close to God's word. Very close to the truth, but not quite complete. When this end time does come, he's going to do wonders, signs and wonders that'll make most anybody believe. Especially if you are moved and touched by signs and wonders. They can't get off this, classical people can't get off of this Antiochus Epiphanes, and because that was it so correlates to the Antichrist. And they consider all this time as from him to the end, but so much history occurred with the Jews in between. That's why I like that gap. It's amazing to me that he didn't ask them about it. What's going to be the gap between the 69th week and the 70th week? But it's been almost 2,000 years, y'all. That's awesome. Okay. Daniel 12, 10 to 13. Many shall be purified, made white. That's washed in the blood and refined. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. But the wise shall understand. We got understanding.
Because he's going to deceive their minds.
And from the time that the daily sacrifice is taken away and the abomination of desolation is set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Got a calculator, divide that by 30, it'll tell you how many months. Divide that by 12, it'll tell you how many years. 3.5. Blessed is he who waits and comes to the 1,345 days. But you go your way till the end, for you shall rest and will rise to your inheritance at the end of days. I like this 45-day difference. Through all the various afflictions of history, God's faithful, or to keep themselves faithful, made white and refined. This is the closing message of the book of Daniel. In other words, never mind all this. Never mind when it's going to happen. It doesn't matter. You keep yourself faithful. That's all. And get as many other people to do it also. It is, and we will be accountable for being in the company of people who are not serving God, for not telling them the error of their way. You follow me? If I know that you're doing something wrong, it is my duty. No, I am required to tell you. I don't have to say, you're a sinful lout, you're going to go to hell. But I can point out to you that this is not acceptable to God according to His Word. And make sure you're aware of it. I will be held accountable if I don't. You will too.
How many times do you have to tell a person?
Well, you're not required to tell them all. They know every time they see you. They know every time they see me. I married a lot of the people that I told to, you're living in sin. I know you love her. I know she loves you, but I don't cut any ice. You're living in sin. You want to get your life together, get married before God, and start living the way you're supposed to live. Now, they still came to church. I still loved them. I still liked them. I got along good with them. But they knew, they had no doubt in their mind at all that I did not disagree, nor did I condone what they were doing. The ones who come here, the two guys who come here, I'm nice to them, they're nice to me, but they know where I stand. They don't have any doubt in their mind that I do not condone what they do. It's my responsibility, and I'm accountable for that. Because you only get one crack at this, y'all. You don't want to leave this world in the wrong place, trust me. Now, I've always been curious about this 45-day gap. Any ideas? Think maybe it just takes God 45 days to destroy evil on the earth? Maybe Armageddon will happen instantly. Maybe He spends more time in the destruction of evil. I kind of look at, there's a lot of cleanup. He comes down and puts an end to it. He doesn't, there's no bombs, no guns, none of that. He destroys them with His tongue, with His Word. Of course, God's Word puts stars in the sky, or takes them out. But there's another thing that happens before the millennium. The great white throne of judgment comes down. And there's a second resurrection. And this second resurrection brings all these people before the great white throne of judgment, and their name is not found in the book of life, they are cast into hell. How many people have died apart from God since God created the earth? How many people are there who will be coming before the great white throne of judgment? How long will it take? I don't know. Might take 45 days. Because this is not the, I'm getting that right. And the great white throne of judgment was before the millennium or after? Is it?
I think it's after, because He's going to release the devil for 1,000 years.
Yeah,
And then
that's true. So that wouldn't apply then. The great white throne of judgment wouldn't be the 45-day gap. I'm not sure what the 45-day gap is unless that's the time it takes to destroy everything and to lock the devil up in that pit for 1,000 years. Because the millennium is not New Jerusalem. The millennium is He's going to dwell in Jerusalem. That city is.
if God takes that long, He's got a purpose for it. 'cause
Well, I'm sure He's got a purpose for it.
He got to get doing it himself.
It's just curious to me that there's a 45-day gap, and He says, "Blessed are you who wait those extra 45 days." And if I'm happen to be standing there, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I just find it curious.
I was reading in the Bible somewhere today that it don't even start until all these people are sealed. You know? The great tribulation ain't gonna start until all these people are sealed. They're already closed.
You talking about the 144,000?
Probably.
That's part of the seals. Yeah. That's all Jews. You notice not, didn't say anything about the Gentiles there, did it?
No.
It's 144,000 Jews. Interesting thought, though. According to the pre-tribulation rapture people, the rapture occurs when John is called into heaven, when he sees the door open and he calls him in heaven. That's the rapture. Before he even sees the throne, before any of these things happen.
I'm just waiting on the last trumpet.
That's what we did.
No. Well, we're just looking at the book. We're not trying to decipher and figure it out that we know today, because no one knows the day. No one knows the time.
Well, I figure with the chemtrails, the poison water, the chemicals in our food, I got a better chance of dying than seeing the rapture.
Yeah. But I can drink deadly poison without harm. Yes, ma'am. Susan? So I'm not concerned about, I am concerned about the chemtrails. I think somebody should stop it and all the other garbage.
I think that's why everything's having trouble growing.
But all these things, Brian, have occurred. There was a time in this nation where you couldn't even get grass to grow. I mean, people were eating anything to get their hands on, Dust Bowl and all. Yeah, nothing worked. We've gone through extremely cold temperatures, like the earth is getting further from the sun. Then we went through heat waves like you wouldn't believe. This heat wave that we're going through, it's uncomfortable, but it's not unusual. None of these things are. Got fire? Yeah, we got fires. But I'm going to tell you something else about fires. You know when wildfires got most plentiful? How good's your memory? I'm going to tell you when wildfires became so prominent. When the tree-hugging people stopped loggers from cutting trees down. And we had to buy our wood from Japan that was cut down in Canada, shipped to Japan, cut up, and sent back to the United States. Increased the cost of a house 500%, so that we wouldn't destroy these virgin forests. I'm going to tell you something about a virgin forest. A virgin forest is just what it sounds like. Whatever falls down on the ground lays there and dies. No one cleans the brush. No one cleans the trash. No one clears anything. No one goes in and plants new trees. It is a perfect place for a fire. Loggers go in and they cut a section so that you got gaps all over that forest, and then they clear that land and they replant seedlings. And ultimately, at the time that they did this, and this was someone in Europe that did this survey and study, at the time that they did this, there were more trees in North America than there were when Columbus discovered America. Tell me we were destroying trees. The other thing that same survey found, because these terrible polluting automobiles were destroying everything, that trees grew 40% larger and 40% faster along the interstate highways than they did in the forest. Because guess what they eat? They eat carbon dioxide, baby. That's their food source. They put off a poison, oxygen. What a coincidence. It's almost like the tree planned it. Yeah. The tree didn't plant it. The one that created the tree planned it. But it's so, and this information that I'm telling you, this stuff I'm sharing with you, I didn't make this up, and I'm not the only person on the earth that knew it. It was common knowledge, but it was completely pushed aside because tree huggers had the podium and the media. And it turned into all kind of worse things than tree huggers since then. You don't see anybody hugging trees anymore. They hug each other now. Where's it going to go from there? Where's it going to go? When I see a woman, a Muslim woman, who is a Islamic scholar, making a statement in public that it's okay for Muslim men to rape unbelievers. There is nothing wrong with that. I kind of think you ought to get arrested just for saying it, personally.
Kind of like condoning it.
Hmm?
It's like condoning it, so yeah.
It might be right, it might be legal over there, it'll never be right. It's like taking babies for wives. It'll never be right. Anyway, so y'all don't have any ideas about the 45 days, huh? Y'all don't care about the 45 days, do you? Well, here, you would like to know what AI thinks about it? AI, 1,290 days from the removal of the daily sacrifices, setting of the abomination of desolation, 1,335 days. For the one who waits comes to that point. The difference 45 days. A common explanation is that the 1,290 days mark the end of the final period of desecration of tribulation, while the extra 45 days represent a transition period after that, often understood as a time for judgment, cleansing, restoration, or setting up the promised kingdom. That's what AI thinks. The 1,290 days may point to the end of the crisis. The 1,335 days point to the blessed state that follows after the short waiting period. That's how the computer figures this out. Why the gaps exist is not typically explained in Daniel, so interpretations vary. Prophetic translation view, the 45 days allow for events after the end of tribulation, such as judgment and restoration. Historical view, some connect the numbers to events surrounding Antiochus IV, Epiphanes, and the cleansing of the temple, though exact dates are debated. So you go back, they always go back to Antiochus. Futuristic view, the futurist view, some see the 1,290 days as ending with Christ's return or the defeat of evil, and the 1,335 days as reaching the beginning of full kingdom blessing, or the beginning of the millennium. In a symbolic view, the numbers emphasize endurance. Those who keep waiting beyond the apparent end receive blessings. Key phrase is, blessed is he who waits. Even the computer understands that. The passage seems to teach that even after the major prophetic event ends, God's people may still need to wait a little longer before the promised blessing is realized. Gee, wow, intelligent are these machines now. Now you know what AI thinks. I don't put a lot of credence in AI. Although I can't argue with its obvious yeah. Anyway, thus ends the prophetic book of Daniel.
Yeah, I sure got through 12 a lot easier than 11. Woo, that was right.
Look, best way to understand chapter 11, The details is what's the problem in chapter 11. The daughter of this king went up there, but she lost her power, and then her offspring did this, and that one did that. The only thing you really need to understand about chapter 11, the Greek king in Syria, the Greek king in Egypt. Right on top of Jerusalem is where they did it. Finally, the one in Syria beat the other one so bad he had full control, so he took it all out on the Jews. That's the only thing you need to know. When he got in there, he put himself up as king, put a pig on the altar in the Holy of Holies, and desecrated the temple. As a sign, God did this so that he could tell you, when you see the desolation of degradation spoken of in Daniel, then you know. Yeah. When the Antichrist gets in the temple and does the same thing, there's no question in your mind. You're in the tribulation 3.5 years. It's over. That's all you really need from chapter 11. All this going back and forth and who did this and who's that and who this person is, you can study that for another 100 years. And you probably get all the names of all these people and track them wherever they went. But it's still not going to change the fact of what happened. That's all it was. These two kings couldn't get along. They both want to take over the other one. And they did it all in Israel. And Israel got the brunt of it. And so much about that time frame all the way up till Christ that is unrecorded and unknown unless you get into books that you wouldn't normally read. Like how Rome got there. There was no war. They didn't invade Israel. They never had a war with Israel until Israel tried to rebel. They were fighting with each other. Read Josephus. He does an outstanding job of explaining a lot of that. It's about that thick. Print's about that big. Comes in paperback form. Easy to find. Any store that sells Christian books sells Book of Josephus.
Watch it on YouTube.
No, I don't think you're going to find it on YouTube. You might, I don't know, I've never tried Audible. But if you did an Audible of Josephus, for example, I'm reading a fiction book right now, I just started it. It's 40 hours on Audible. 40 hours. Josephus would be more like 400.
And that's going to take time away from the people at your back door.
Yeah. Talk about. I don't know, that's what I said. If this book is 40 hours, Josephus might be 400. It's probably not, but I would imagine it's probably at least 100 hours. I mean, how many hours would the Bible be? People that read the Bible, you ever had those times? We did it with Kara's ministry, 24 hours a day. We spent a week reading the Bible. We read, go up on the pulpit and read. You read one book or you read a chapter, whatever you read over the microphone out loud, even if nobody else was there. The Bible was being read orally, out loud, 24 hours a day. It took a week.
Trump did it too.
Huh?
Trump had it done too.
Yeah, quite a few people did it. And it takes quite a while. All right, Josephus probably at least as big or bigger than the Bible. I never read the whole book myself. I dig in it every now and then, and I put it aside because it's, oh my Lord, it's so small print and hard to read. And I don't mind if it's that thick if I can read the words. But anyway, that's. So, anybody got any idea where they'd like to go after Daniel? Yeah. And we'll get into prophetic, but oh no. Well, okay, just one at a time, please. It's like Kerry when he's trying to close his Bible study. So, would somebody lead us in closing prayer?
You hear
Not all at once. Anybody? And it's usually the same 4 or 5 women that do it. And Doc does it every now and then. Doc Hagen. He's, anyway. If not, I'll find something. Maybe I'll change the format, not do it a book. Maybe I'll go to a topic instead. I don't know.
I liked it when you did creation, that was good.
Hmm.
And the red words.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. I don't want to do that again. Well, of course, I got it all written now, so it don't matter. I spent from, 7 o'clock this morning till 3 this afternoon,
Well, maybe you should
sitting at the computer.
just take that paperwork next week for Carrie's about the watchman, put out your own version of that.
Yeah, I worked on that today too. I got some questions
You could do that,
for him.
your own thing, Lansky, and it probably would help the people in the Bible study extreme.
I'll come up with something, folks. In the meantime, though, unless y'all got shoes to throw, rocks, questions, comments, anything. If not, we're going to let JC go home and take a nap. Mom's here. So I didn't even know she was here when I said that, JC.
Good night.
Anyway, did y'all get anything out of Daniel? I mean, was it worth the effort? A lot of stuff in Daniel. In a book that small, 12 chapters. It's amazing, huh?
I'm glad I didn't have to live his life.
Me too.
I had the rough life there,
Somebody please feed the chickens. Well, yeah, he did. He lived a good life when you consider he was a captive in a foreign land, learning a new language and a new culture, and he would never see his homeland or his